Sometimes, a single inning can completely change the course of a game, and the Cubs experienced that harsh reality on September 7th, 2025, in a heartbreaking 6-3 loss to the Nationals. The ninth inning was arguably the worst of the entire season for Chicago. Daniel Palencia, who had been holding a 2-run lead, not only surrendered that advantage, but also suffered an injury on his final pitch. While the exact nature of his discomfort wasn't immediately clear, it was obvious he was in pain as he exited the mound, possibly limping slightly in the dugout. Update. Unfortunately, it's been confirmed that Palencia is dealing with shoulder tightness, a troubling development for the Cubs. But here's where it gets interesting. Earlier in the game, the decision to have Drew Pomeranz start in place of Colin Rea against the Nationals paid off handsomely. The two pitchers combined to deliver 6.1 innings of solid, one-run baseball. Although the strong pitching performance ultimately didn't secure a win, it was a smart strategic move that kept the Cubs competitive for most of the game. On the offensive side, Carson Kelly stood out as the Ankim Law making it personal player of the game, thanks to his impressive 2-home run performance. If only both of those homers had been grand slams, the story might have been very different. Kelly's power display was a bright spot in an otherwise frustrating day for the Cubs offense, which had plenty of chances but struggled to capitalize consistently. The drama of Palencia's ninth inning collapse and Kelly's heroics somewhat overshadowed the broader issue, the team's inability to convert opportunities into runs. And this is the part most people miss. This game wasn't just a loss. It turned a potentially acceptable series win into a devastating series defeat in a matter of moments. The swing from hope to disappointment was swift and painful, underscoring how fragile momentum can be in baseball. For those who want to dive deeper, the full box score is available for review, offering a detailed breakdown of every play and stat from the game. This recap was written by Brett Taylor, the lead baseball writer at Bleacher Nation. You can follow Brett on X, @BrettATaylor, Blue Sky, @BrettTaylor, and LinkedIn. Brett founded Bleacher Nation back in 2008 as an independent blog focused on the Chicago Cubs. Over time, it expanded to cover other Chicago sports and has grown into one of the largest regional sports blogs online. If you're interested in more Cubs news, here are some recent highlights. Daniel Palencia's shoulder tightness is a major concern after he left the game injured while still trying to close out the ninth inning. This injury could have significant implications for the Cubs' bullpen moving forward. Carson Kelly continues to impress with his power hitting, drawing comparisons to Barry Bonds early in the season, when he was consistently crushing the ball. Is Kelly on track to become one of the most feared hitters in the league? That's a hot topic among fans and analysts alike. The Cubs lineup has been a topic of discussion, especially after a frustrating 2-1 home loss, where the team struggled against a weaker opponent despite favorable conditions like the wind blowing out at Wrigley Field. And the Cubs adjust their strategy and lineup to better harness these environmental factors. This game and its aftermath raise some important questions. How much should a single inning define a team's season? Is relying on bullpen arms like Palencia a risk worth taking, especially when injuries loom? And with players like Kelly showing flashes of brilliance, what's the best way to build a consistent offensive threat? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with the strategic choices made in this game? How worried are you about Palencia's injury? And what do you think the Cubs need to do to turn these close losses into wins? Join the conversation and share your opinions in the comments below.